Welcome to another Dank yet drawing commentary. Thank you for joining me today. We have a really nice one for you. On this one, I was deciding to go back to my roots on this one. I wanted to do some what do you call it, like faces, and so I decided to listen to the Faces album by Mac Miller while I was going through that. So before I start with the faces, though, I wanted to put down some paint to kind of give myself a challenge. I went with black paint at the bottom right and smearing that up like something like an explosion or something. And then I went with the white paint at the top left. And so I was going for like some sort of like duality there. And it ended up taking a lot more of the canvas than I wanted it to. So that was unfortunate. It didn't give me a lot of room to make the faces like I was planning on. But hey, life moves on, and I don't think anybody's gonna really hold it against me. So boom, first face right off the bat, just straight up into the eyes. I realized that the eyebrows are kind of looking like eyebrows, so I wanted the eyebrows to look more like eyebrows. And then big old teeth, giant smile, kind of looking like a skeleton at this point, like a explosion, like a mushroom cloud. So I give him a bit that was starting to look like his chin, but then I gave him gums, and at that point the chin had to be the lower lip. Obviously, the ear is going to give him more of a fuller face. I wasn't too sure about the collar and neck, so I went straight for the arm. And I was gonna do the other arm, but I was influenced by the Faces album, and I put a foot where the arm should be. And then I recognized, oh man, I'm not doing the faces thing that I wanted to. So then I go straight into another face. Start with the eyebrows, kind of intense. Wanted to have him looking at the other person that was like had their hands outstretched. You can see those ridges on the forehead, really, and then that serious smile. I like how the chin, the jawline came out on this one. Now the ear on close to his left eye is just a little too close. It's not really working, but it kind of gives it some sort of weird perspective where you're looking at it from like a fish eye at the 10 or 15 degree angle. And so I wanted to give him like a body, but that was too boring. I went with a plane for obvious reasons. Not really. I mean, he was above the other one, right? And so what's above people? Planes. I wanted to give him a helmet, like a flight helmet. It turned out to look like a football helmet instead, so I just went with it. Instead of trying to chase a turd. So I was trying to figure out how this single propeller plane would look, kind of giving the wings at a 45-degree angle, turn as if it was banking towards the viewer. And I decided to give them little jets underneath the wings as well. So now we're looking at a triple turbine, quadruple if you count the turbine on the propeller. I guess it's like worried about helicopter maneuvers. Again, recognized that I just wasn't drawing faces, so went back to the faces. This guy's pondering down there, like like let me think about that for a second, and making my next face over here. Not as close to the smiling guy as I wanted it to, but I recognized that the smiling guy might deserve more. And that face that I drew looked like it was getting mushed or smashed. So then I drew a second person kind of like pushing that muffled one. And so this was a little challenging to deal with the bottom of the paper, and also to like remember the smushed person. And so luckily I was able to keep the idea in mind, and drew the smushed person properly getting pushed by the pusher, and that pusher is just really gritting their teeth there. Really like how that turned out. I wasn't sure why I gave the pusher a flat top headpiece, but it just kind of seemed to work. Reminds me of that Anger character from Inside Out, that Pixar movie. I believe he was voiced by Lewis Black. You might remember him from The Daily Show 20 years ago. And so the foot is there to the left, stage left of the smiling person. So I decided to give the foot a whole foot and leg, a whole pant, and then committed to the neck and shoulders of this person. And I kind of like how, check it out, it looks like he's holding his lower half like it was a buddy. This kind of is how I see the world whenever I make my eyes like intersect. you'll see part of the image go up and to the right, and it's really perplexing. Now, this part was total, just total inspiration. There was some dried paint on the red that I was wanting to use to sip a coffee, but the red was too dry. It wasn't moving around. I was considering using water, but I haven't really done a lot with watercolor yet, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Practice a little bit more, and I recognize that the red is really coming through. So faces, right? That was the original plan. Um, I'm recognizing that that thing in the top center is just like a blob at this point. But stick around, you might see it turn into something else. Now, again, more faces, just sticking to the theme. I wanted to honor my commitment throughout these drawing practices. I'm recognizing that I give up pretty easily and very often. I just don't like to chase a turd. Um, Learn better than that. And so, more faces. We got the sad red face in the center. We have the morose blue face at the top right, and then we have this. It's kind of like a happy-go-lucky attitude, and really wanted to commit to this one. I like the how he was looking, and so I was shading him in. But as you could see, the red little thing ran out of paint, so then I wanted to give it some more. The white, and then the blue, and then more white. I was just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what stuck. So I put it on the top side, tried to flip it over, wasn't really working. That was my bad. Something you learn in cooking is you have wet hand, dry hand, and so I should have kept that lesson in mind. Now I'm looking at the guy's face, and I'm like, well, I want to shade this in. I want it to look like something, and so I want to put in some yellow. Scared to commit. Really, really realizing, oh my God, I got a whole lot of black here. Let me use some of that. So another face, look at that. Staying committed to the bitment. And a little more, and I recognize, oh, this paint, it would be good for the plane, because the plane is still just kind of like, unfinished. And so I decided to just smear this crap all over that thing. And I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So then I smear it on the guy's helmet as well. And yeah, I kind of like how it's coming on like dusty. You see that it kind of gives it more motion, and it makes it more blurry. So I'm filling in this person, but I'm recognizing that this stuff is coming on pretty thick, and now you can't really make out the smile. And so I was a little sad by that, because that was a really nice smile. And it kind of looks like this guy now has like I don't know, 5 o'clock shadow or something, but it looks pretty miserable. So we're just gonna force a smile onto him. Yeah, let's see those teeth. Yeah, I want you to smile more, buddy. And so in the center line that's kind of disconnecting all of the three motifs, the big red guy, the flying plane person, and then the black splotch with a couple of faces near it. So I decided to kind of give them their own compartments, kind of separate them with this white paint with a light blue chalk. So then those light blue pigments were sticking on, as you could see, and it kind of adds to the motion and the fluidness, and I really appreciate how it's going to look after it dries. And I wanted to thank you for coming along on this journey with me. That little hockey puck's going to stay right in the middle. I'm looking forward to the next time. Have a great day, and